Today's topic on Critical Insights: Security Risk Management. Security risk management is vital to making informed business decisions. Is that a practice that is being adopted in critical infrastructure sectors?
I love this topic. Security risk management it's the quintessential of cybersecurity. And for organizations that are continuing to mature, it's an essential, a vital element of their overall risk picture, their enterprise risk picture. So I am seeing adoption, especially in critical infrastructure. We're seeing a lot of adoption. We're seeing a lot of maturity in that space. We're also seeing a lot that haven't even started. So it's kind of a mixed bag. And when you talk about critical infrastructures, there's all kinds of sizes of organizations. So that's a really important thing to think about is if you're on your journey with risk management, you got to start thinking about security and you got to start adopting that security risk profile into your overall risk thought process. It's what builds informed decisions. And those that are doing it right now, the ones that I'm seeing adopt it, are really embracing the whole concept of security risk and bringing that into the conversation at the business level. And traditionally, we used to think, let's say in the 1990s timeframe, technology was starting to get even more robust and everything. And so we kind of had this triangle. We'd have business finance risk on this side, and on this side we'd have operational risk, and on the bottom we had IT. It looked different per organization, but that's essentially the types of risks that we were discussing. As we got into the 2000s and got into the later parts into the 2020s that we're in now, security has been elevated. It's certainly the hot topic of anybody in any organization that you're thinking about it. You can get the ransomware and all those things are really a big concern to your bottom line. So embracing that has become a topic that people want to engage in, but they don't necessarily know how. And that's the part where it's very interesting to watch that maturity bell as organizations are starting to build up their capabilities on risk. They kind of plateau usually, and they have a difficulty bringing that adoption to the next level, bringing it into the boardroom, bringing it into those business decisions. And I find that hurdle to be usually it's a conversation. Those that know security don't know how to articulate that correctly and bring it into that fold. Risk management has been around forever. And as I said, we had the IT technology risks being brought in, I'm just roughly saying the 80s, 90s, into the conversation and being brought into that, what does our risks really look like? How is that impacting our costs? How's that impacting our bottom line? How's that impacting how we operate, our efficiencies? And now security is starting to get into that. So I definitely see an adoption. We need more of it. We need more people to be educated on how to bring that to the higher levels.
What are the hurdles that need to be overcome to get an organization to adopt security risk management as part of their overall portfolio of enterprise risk management?
So security risk management has a lot of challenges to it into getting it fully adopted into your organization. A lot of it that is perception. There are a significant amount of leaders that still see security as a technology problem. As such, they bundle it in with the IT. I often said, I worked at Pacific Corp years ago, and I was building a cybersecurity team there, and we were doing really good. We were doing a lot of technology things, but we obviously evolved and started wanting to get more into making a business impact and helping Pacific Corp have these business enablers that were associated with security itself. What we found is that we were buried in the bowels of IT, and that's what I often said to my leadership is that you want me to impact the organization with my security controls that we're trying to build, but you won't let me get out of the IT world. This domain that you have me constrained, really limits the adoption of what we're trying to talk about. And it was really good for us to see how that worked, because for a short period of time in that organization, I was moved out of IT. Our whole department was, and it was night and day. Being closer to the business and being able to talk about why security was important started having some amazing inroads into building those good decisions that you can make by having that data, that telemetry about security, where you're not just guessing or you're assuming something. You have good decision-making data. That's what risk is all about. You have to manage that risk, and you do it by good information. So one of the hurdles to getting that conversation up is certainly the perception. So if you are a leader in your organization, you're a CISO or CSO, and you're trying to get your organization to adopt more security risk into the conversation that's relevant to business impacts, you need to start selling the idea that security is not just technology, it's processes. It's a number of things that can have a significant impact to your public trust perception. You can have all those conversations and start building that understanding and try to get you out of that IT role. Don't be buried in IT. Try to get yourself elevated outside of that, and it'll make a big difference. So lots of hurdles.
How can security risk management support the bottom line?
This question comes up often. How does security really impact the bottom line of an organization? Isn't it just a cost center? Doesn't it just, it's goodness sakes, we just have to have it? It's not. It is an opportunity. It's an opportunity to be proactive in your approaches in assessing your security risks so you can anticipate bad things to happen. We know for a fact that we're having attacks all the time. No matter what organization you are, but in critical infrastructure, it's happening daily. There are somebody looking for opportunities, opportunity vulnerabilities to take advantage of you in some way or another. And so by being proactive and being thoughtful in your risk assessments and your risk management of cybersecurity and physical security as well, you have that opportunity to reduce loss. It's a loss prevention opportunity, and that is directly going to impact your organization, and also leads to you being seen as an organization that is proactive. And being proactive, you can be a leader in that. You can sell yourself as look at us, we are doing the right things, and that has a lot of public trust. I call it bucket chips. You can add to your public trust bucket with a bunch of chips about security, good security prowess. And it's important to do that because people need to know that your organization takes this seriously, and you're doing everything you can to be a strong and profitable organization. And if you're an investor or you're an invested company, that's going to play into the bottom line. When you have investors looking at organizations, they're going to spend more money on you or spend money on you at all because you have strong security. You can sell that as a benefit. So there's all kinds of good things that happen with security. And a lot of it is technology-based, a lot of it's business-based, a lot of it is external public-facing. Your compliance status is so important to that public trust. And that's a bottom line element. So to me, the bottom line is obvious, but you have to sell that to your organization, and it's an important thing to sell. So if you liked everything that you heard here today, keep us in mind. We're Archer Energy Solutions. This is what we do. We live and breathe critical infrastructure security, physical and cyber, and operational and planning. It is our life. It is what we have built our entire organization around, and we're excited to be able to help anyone that needs any help. Give us a call.
If you need assistance protecting your critical infrastructure, reach out and contact Archer today.